guys, welcome back to Yoast Built. So in the last video we talked about the two turbo EGs that are all multicolor, that are two different builds of B series. Now let's talk about my two silver Honda daily drivers. So first over here we have Snowbunny. If you've watched the channel, you know she has a whole new setup. And then we have my daily driven 01 GSR. Probably haven't seen this car on the channel very much, but it's pretty much original. Had to do a motor swap on it because nothing around here stays stock for very long. And the original motor when we bought this car had a spun rod bearing. So I'm gonna flip the camera around here, tell you about it, tell you about that one, explain. The video is going to be mostly about Snowbunny. Alright guys, so long story short, this is my 2001 GSR Integra, black leather, the VIN number 9 car. If you know anything about the Integras, that means it is a fully loaded Acura GSR. So, I got this car from a local pastor, however. My brother's friend drove it around for a little bit up here. It's a daily driver. Stock suspension since the last time you've seen it. I don't remember if I put this thing in videos or not. So, all stock suspension off the green GSR we have. It has all new power stop brakes. It has these 97 GSR wheels on it. It is very, very clean for a Pennsylvania car. The only thing with this car is it has a little baby rust spot right there starting to come through. Other than that, it is very clean, no crazy dents, nothing like that. I have the hood popped so you guys can see the GSR that's in it. But she is a very clean 2001 GSR. She has 170, I think 5,000 miles on the body. But this is another GSR, but this is a b17 A1 GSR. So if you know what that even is, that is a DA, so a 92 to 93 Integra GSR motor in a 2001. So to do that, you have to convert it to OBD1, but to put it in this car, you actually have to convert it to OBD2. So it has a OBD2 Honda oil pump on it. It has the OBD1 GSR intake manifold that came on this GSR. The B17s are really odd motors. They have a different stroke than all the other B series. So it is kind of like a little more torquey than a B16, but a little less torquey than a GSR. This car does have AC, power steering, cruise control, everything you can ask for. So this is just another one of the daily drivers. She's an awesome car. I'll open the door and show you the interior. The interior is pretty mint. It has a little rip right there in the driver's seat, but for a 2001 GSR, she's in really good condition. Everything on the car works: power windows, mirrors, sunroof, rear wiper. It doesn't have the factory mirrors, which kind of annoyed me that it came like that from the last owner. But this is just one of the daily drivers that I have around right now, a GTO. I hit a deer with this about 2 months ago, so this whole side right here is all brand new, and then they re-cleared the headlights and everything for me, and the hood had to get replaced. It used to have the vented 0506 SAP hood. Now it is just a completely repainted GTO. The whole front of the car had to get resprayed because of the deer incident, and the grills and everything are all in there, actually secured. But let's get to Snowbunny. So if you've watched the channel for a while, you know about every year I end up putting a new swap in this thing. So this is Snowbunny. This is my 98 Honda Civic EX, another fully loaded car, sunroof, power windows, whole 9 yards. So basically the heavy version of this car. It is a little beat up. The front end has rust right there on the hood. The front bumper is beat up. I actually use this car to push stuff in the shop when I have no manpower, when I'm here by myself working on things. So since the last time, I don't remember if you've seen the wheels. I got these wheels off a VW guy. They have snow tires on them, so they're really loud. If we do it, well, when we do the driving, you're gonna hear the tires super loud. She's dented up from me taking her out through the mountains. I love this thing. I abuse it like if it's my truck. I use it to tow stuff. I use it to carry stuff around. Recently, I did all the control arms and brackets, so the whole rear suspension feels a lot more solid. But before that, I was getting to cleaning her up. Don't mind my dirty feet. So detailed the whole interior. If you guys don't know, this is an H-swap car. This is one of the first videos I did. There's all my stuff for the gym. We'll pop the hood. EK Life. This thing's always broken. So, nitrous switch, which we'll be deleting soon. SI cluster from an EM1. Here she is. This is what we call a G23. So it's basically a hybrid F-series single cam block with a dual cam cylinder head. So there's a few things you have to do to make this setup work. Another thing is this has a M2Y4 Prelude transmission, and this is a Euro R Roscoe Racing intake manifold. You have to, we'll start here on the timing side. The T bracket right here, or the post mount, all the bolts don't fit. So what I do is I use this factory side right here. I just drill a hole out a little bit so that the two upper 14s fit. Another thing you have to do to make this setup work is you need P13 H22 timing gears, you need a single cam water pump, and then you need to put a H22 timing gear on it, and then you need to run a H22 lower sprocket. Everything else can be single cam, but you need the H22 lower sprocket, you need a single cam water pump with H22 pulley, and then H22 pulleys. Because the blocks are technically the same height, it works. The spacing works, everything works. Now, once you have your dual cam cylinder head, this right here and this right here on the back, on an H series head you have 4 oil returns. On an F series you only have 3 oil returns. So you have to get your cylinder head welded up here and there, and then machined flat so that you don't leak oil out of those 2 holes. So you basically are deleting your 4 oil return holes to 3 oil return holes so that it matches the single cam. You use a single cam head gasket, you use dual cam VTEC head studs, and then you have a G23. Another thing you have to do is the water pipe. Because you're using a single cam block, the water pipe is about, I want to say about 3/4 the size. So the water pipe coming out of the block is about 3/4 the size. In the middle, you cut it, you can put a hose over it, and then you run your H22 pipe on the other side, which feeds over to your thermostat housing right there. This car is 98, so I have the 10 plug to 2 plug conversion. OBD1 distributor. There is the nitrous activation wire. The nitrous nozzle is not in the intake right now. We're not spraying this motor. We do plan on turboing this motor. Rev 9 coilovers, all the stickers. This car used to have coil unplug. I was driving one day, the coil unplug randomly quit working in the board. So with what is cool about the coil unplug conversion from Robert Burton is you can literally just unplug the connector pin, swap it back to your factory distributor wiring, and then you'll run as if it was a distributor car, because you basically converted it back to a distributor car. So that is the update on Snowbunny. Let's get in her. Let's take her to go get some coffee and do a couple pulls and some driving. So S300 adapter, wideband, janky shifter. Let's see how she runs E85 cold start. Starts up pretty good. Air feels pretty good. They're always a little rich on the start until they get warm and lean out. Another thing I want to talk about is with the H-swap. So you can do, basically you need to match the shifter and the cables to your transmission. A lot of K-swap people have the shifter and they cut the whole center console and, you know, lose your cup holders and everything. I just trimmed right here, so I still have my cup holders. This is the plastic shifter out of a 5th gen Prelude. This is what makes the H and F swaps much different than B series. The cable shifter options are kind of very limited. You kind of have to use stock stuff. But what I found is the stock shifter box is pretty much the best. Just hard mount it to the floor and get rid of the factory rubber bushings, and you'll have the best luck with it shifting and not doing anything crazy. The thing I want to talk about is this is a JDM F23 bottom end, which is actually a Alright guys, so as I was saying, the G23 in this car is a little different than the normal G23. So, the normal G23 that you see online is considered an F23 bottom end, K-series pistons, and an H22 head. Mine is none of that besides the F23 bottom end. So this motor is a F23A bottom end. Well, there's two versions of an F23A. You get a JDM car motor and a JDM minivan motor. The minivan motor has a slope piston that makes the compression 9.8 to 1, whereas the car motor has a dish piston that makes the compression 9.3 to 1. So you have an extra point of compression. This slope piston is supposed to help with swirl in the cylinder to make the motor more efficient. It also helps it where you can add timing. So this is a JDM Odyssey F23A, and the cylinder head is not an H22 cylinder head. This is a F20B cylinder head. So you guys know I'm real big into F20Bs. I love F20Bs to death. I have like 4 or 5 of those cylinder heads. So this is one I already had converted to do the G23, G22 setup, and this cylinder head was actually on this car before when it had the G22 bottom in it, which I sprayed I think 2 years ago. So back on the same cylinder head, but now 2.3 bottom end, and the turbo kit is all ordered. So we'll start putting it on and putting it together when it gets here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and the 2 or 3 pulls. It is a little damp today. It's not raining, but it was raining earlier. So I kind of don't want to do any crazy high-speed pulls, just because the Pennsylvania roads are very unsafe when it's wet. They're very slippery. So hopefully you enjoyed all the information. If you have any questions, drop a question down in the comments below. And as always, have a great day.